The journey to excellence begins by believing in a very strong set of principles, and this is a country that has done just that. Today we are standing here at the offices of Alshawamikh Oil Services, a company that has been quite instrumental in transforming the face of the oil and gas industry of Oman, and we are in conversation with the CEO, Dr. Aflah Al Hadhrami, a very inspiring man who has a story to tell. Greetings, Dr. Aflah, and welcome to OER Live Leaders Speak.
Pleasure meeting you, Alvin.
So Alshawamikh Oil Services has been in the industry for well over a decade now. Can you walk us through the journey and how your journey to excellence has been?
Thank you, Alvin. Alshawamikh started, as you rightly said, about 10 years ago, and it is considered one of the super local community companies, and there are 5 of them basically. Alshawamikh and these super local community companies were formed by royal directives from the late His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, and the idea was really noble: to maximize the wealth of the citizens residing in the oil and gas concession areas. So instead of giving business to specific companies owned by influential people, the idea was, no, let's not do that. Let us create major companies. They contribute to the economy of Oman, and at the same time we have shareholders from the different tribes and different people residing in the concession area. Since the inception of Alshawamikh about 10 years ago, Alhamdulillah, we are thankful. Where we sit today, we are proud. We have over 1,000 staff. We created lots of opportunities for Omanis and expatriates as well. And when you look at the growth of the organization, recently we have managed to win various contracts in the oil and gas. We are considered one of the reputable companies in the Sultanate providing oil field services. Recently we have embarked also in the energy sector, so we are working in different projects, and that's to ensure that we diversify the revenues of the organization. We recruit very talented Omanis, engineers, graduates from different parts of the world, be it Sultan Qaboos University, local institutions, and also from very reputed universities from across the globe. Recently we have embarked on the journey of excellence, and the journey of excellence consists of 11 elements, and the idea is to ensure that we maximize the profit of the organization and at the same time ensure it is sustainable. And I would say proudly, since we embarked on the journey of excellence, a lot of changes have happened in the organization, major and drastic transformation. We have today strong teams. They are driving that journey. We have clear KPIs, clear dashboards to gauge the performance of the organization, and also it gives us clear indications where do we stand with regards to the journey of excellence. I will not elaborate much on the journey of excellence, but some of the areas, it's about people and culture. If you don't have a great work environment, you will not be able to attract talented people. And nowadays, any organization, be it oil and gas, a financial institution, private sector, government, army, in Oman or outside, if you do not have the right resources, resources who are competent, they have clear mandates, and you equip them with the required ammunition, that organization would not succeed. We have done detailed analysis on other successful organizations which made the leap with regards to net profit and sustainability, and we tried our level best to maximize the learnings from them, from their experiences, and bring that recipe into Alshawamikh. And that's why today, proudly we can say we have the largest number of hoists in Oman. We are into drilling. We are working on pipeline maintenance. We are working on drill water services and many, many other services. We have a crystal clear plan, a crystal clear strategy driven by young, talented Omanis and expats. We are very certain our ambition, our dream will become true in a very short period. And we have seen in the last 2 years, which has been very painful, not only to Alshawamikh, but to any other organization due to the pandemic. For us, I would say we thought differently, and during the pandemic we tried to think out of the box. How can we make more profits during these tough times? So we made a lot of changes internally. 2020 we made the highest net profit ever in the history of the organization, and we are continuing to be a very successful growing organization. In a very short period, our number of staff have gone from 400 to above 1,000, and therefore we are no longer a small organization. We are a very growing organization, adding to the economy of the country, and we will continue in that journey, inshallah.
That's great. The company came into existence in the early 2010s when oil was pegged at well over $100 per barrel. However, what ensued in 2015 was an economic downturn. How were you as Alshawamikh Oil Services providing the best of services to your clients, and how were you looking at growth during that period?
I have to admit, it has been a very painful journey, but the support we received from government and the support we received from PDO, Petroleum Development Oman. In the beginning, Alshawamikh was under the incubation of PDO. So PDO played a vital role to establish the company and create the basic required governance. Though the company was established in 2010, I would say the real start was from 2014. 2014 until 2017, it was not about growth, it was about proving that we can exist. From 2017, we started gaining slightly more momentum, but in the last 2 years, a drastic change happened. Now, back to your question, how did we manage to do that growth? I would say it's not simple, but the collaboration between the board of directors and the executive management team made a unique recipe whereby we stick to our plans, whereby in our core values of the organization, the 5 core values, one of them is being client focused. So we focused to ensure that our clients are being served to the maximum level, and it's in line with the vision of the organization. So today, when you talk about major operators in the country, we serve PDO, we serve BP, we serve Dalil, we serve Petrogas, we serve Occidental Oil and Gas. So we have quite diversified portfolio of services.
The company portfolio is nothing short of extensive. What are some of the avenues that you're looking to grow into from an oil and gas perspective?
Today, because we have very robust systems in place, I mean, talking about ISO certification, we have also the IMS system within Alshawamikh. We invested heavily on having the right SOPs. We invested heavily on modernization and digitization. Because of that, we gained the trust and confidence of our clients. So we've gone from providing hoists into drilling, and drilling is by far more complicated. It requires heavy capital investments. It requires different set of skills as well. So we are in that business today. We are in the business of expanding further on what we have mastered and also explore new avenues. We can't do that alone, and that's why in our strategy we made it clear we will join our hands and collaborate with multinational organizations who are experts in their fields, so that technical know-how transfer and knowledge transfer comes to Alshawamikh. So in a very short period, we managed to collaborate and join hands with more than 41 multinational companies in different facets. And we believe the future is good. We are very optimistic and we are very excited about the coming future, taking in mind the prices of oil nowadays have gone really high. We believe the operators will start investing more, so that is an opportunity for us to grow further and further.
Now, sustainability is one of the key factors of Oman Vision 2040. What are some of the projects that you're looking to undertake in this avenue?
It's not a secret, we cannot sustain only on the hydrocarbons, and therefore we recently embarked on a new strategy. How can we penetrate into the green energy from now, so within 5 years we become leaders in the industry, and therefore we hired really very talented people in that area. We attracted resources, we invested money in that area, and in a very short period we managed to secure various contracts. I would say we are evolving in that process and we will continue in that journey.
You spoke quite extensively about knowledge and technology transfer, but ICV is also a very important component of the growth of Oman. How have you been contributing to in-country value?
When we talk about ICV is important for the whole nation. And when you look at advanced economies, they have focused on ICV long time ago. There could be different terminologies. You call it local content, supporting local manufacturing, whatever terminology you use. The existence of Alshawamikh is based on ICV. That was an ID from the government, and today we exist. And therefore, it's our duty to ensure that we pay back to the nation. So we have focused heavily on ICV, and our major focus on ICV on hiring locals, training them, and ensure they progress in their career. Today, our Omanization percentage is considered very high, even comparatively with the other oil and gas. We are, I would say, in the top quartile. So that's one element. Another element, we invested at the technical know-how transfer, and the companies we collaborated with, and I'll quote Highwood International, a multinational rigs and hoists manufacturer. We negotiated with them to have a workshop in Oman. So they manufacture units for the Middle East region from Oman that will create more jobs, that will boost the economy in Oman. A good, I wouldn't say proof, but a good motivator that we are on the right track. Recently we won Raoul Rustoshi, which is called the RISBA Award, ICV Award from PDO. And this is a very reputed award. First time it was launched, we competed and we won the award, and we take pride that we won the award. And personally, I am a big fan of ICV, a believer on ICV. Today we have team fully dedicated on ICV to maximize those elements.
Thank you, Dr. Aflah. How has the vision of this company changed in the last few years? And how are you looking to transform this into the next level in the coming years?
Alvin, we focused heavily on people. I am a believer, if you don't have the right people, talented people, people make the organization or break the organization. And if you have the right brains within the organization and you look after them, the growth will be, sky's the limit. And when you look at major multinational companies who made a huge difference, their key focus was on people. So within Alshawamikh, we have a lot of ambitions. Our vision for the next 5 years, we have very aggressive plans. That's not going to happen if we don't have enthusiastic teams, passionate, and we give them the required support. We have recently hired many young engineers, males and females, because we believe on diversity and inclusion. That's why we have to also invest time on their training. And I have to admit, whatever we did, be it having the right people in our human resources function, bringing people who understand what is meant by human resources, we were lucky at picking the right people from the market. And I am certain these youngsters, they will take Alshawamikh to the level we are aspiring for.
Dr. Aflah, on an ending note, Oman is a very young country with a very strong youth population. Now, to the people who are looking up to you, do you have a message for them on how they can train themselves and develop themselves into becoming working professionals?
You said it, Alvin, the demographics of Oman, above 70%, I'm just giving an approximation of our demographics, below the age of 27. To me, that's power for the nation. That majority of the population are young, people with a lot of energy, people who can accept the ongoing changes, the technological advancements. They can cope with it much faster compared to and I'm not speaking here about age, but those who haven't been part of these new generations, it's much harder for them to digest what's going on. However, my feedback to our youngsters, we need to have, in addition to the academic background, in addition to having good and high IQ, we need to have the right attitude. And we need to have a lot of patience. And I would conclude, those who accept constructive feedback from their seniors are the ones who can grow and accelerate further. So if you tell me an advice, I wouldn't say an advice, it's a recommendation. Accept feedback from your seniors. That's going to shape your personality, shape your thinking, and it will accelerate, no doubt, your growth.